Hi everyone. Um, I know I haven't posted a video in a while. I really don't have anything witchy to say. This is really more of just a bit of a rant and discussion about myself, and pardon my cheeks. I drank a little bit and my face gets red. But obviously I'm not. I'm I'm not drunk. Um, so don't worry about that. I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. Um, so in the last video that you saw, I just started classes, very, very stressed out. I'm still in the beginning of this fall term, even more stressed out. And basically what I want to talk to you guys about is what I've realized about myself within the past couple of days. Like, being brought to the brink and having to confront this bit about myself. So I go to a non-traditional campus, and I don't know if you guys have watched my last videos, but I discuss the divorce that happened with my parents, and blah blah, awful. But ever since that happened, my life has been inconstant. I'm always moving, and people are either moving away from me. I'm losing things, uh, physically moving houses, or moving back and forth between school and home. I haven't been able to settle down in a couple of years now, and it's exhausting. Um, and so this campus, the school that I go to now, I went there last year for a full year. I had to transfer from the school I was at previously to this one because it was easier, cheaper, more convenient for my living situation, because I do live at home with my dad. It was just an all-around easier situation. The issue is that I've never felt more alone in my life. Um, it's awful. Uh, the school that I go to is in the middle of the city, and commuting, public transit. I don't like feeling that I'm just another person on the train. It's awful. Feel like I I know this sounds kind of overblown, but I'm sure people have felt this before, feeling like your existence really doesn't matter. Like, if you weren't there, people wouldn't notice. And I don't like that. I'm not saying that I'm like, I mean to be an attention hog, but um, I like to feel valued, and this entire um, process of going through the school has made me feel less than in so many ways. Um, because everybody's coming and going, I can't keep friends, really. Only a handful I've been able to keep over this past year. Um, and what sucks is that if I find a connection out there, I still have to come back here. And if I find a connection with people here, I have to go out there. And actually, I don't, besides maybe one of my friends that's still in town here, I really have no other friends in town where I'm living. I mean, it's been awful and very, very lonely, and I just feel, I don't know, I don't like it. Um, I just feel isolated, and it's that's just not who I am. I don't like it. I do have moments, yes, where I do get depressed and I get sad and I want to be isolated. I choose to be isolated because I force myself to deal with those feelings. I choose to become more isolated so I am in a way making myself cry or making myself upset to get those emotions out, and then that, you know, the storm kind of calms after a while. But for the most part, I'd prefer to not feel isolated and feel like I'm a part of something and feel like I'm valued and that my presence means something. And for the entire past year, it hadn't. My existence was kind of just empty. Um, it's in this college life that I'm experiencing at the school I'm at is just horrifically impersonal. It's very hard to talk to professors because it's so huge. It's just everything it seems in my life has become horrifically unstable, and that frightens me and it upsets me. Um, I don't I can't constantly be on the move. I'm not meant to fly. So I was trying to push through this year. I am a senior, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but with the way that transfer credits worked, I had to. Things got fucked up with language credits and whatever, and so I have to be there another year after this one, and probably another one after that, depending on how much of my minor I get done. Yeah, I know. I don't take a lot more than the minimum amount of credits because I can't overload. If I overload myself, if I push myself to do more than I can handle, I will have anxiety attack problems. And I prefer to do a good job in my classes and get pretty fucking good grades than to try to overdo and overstep my bounds and fail. Um, so yeah, even though I'm a senior, I've been in college for 4 years. This is my 4th year. It's probably going to be a few more years after this till I'm done. And so, anyways, I was thinking, like, at the beginning of this year, I'm like, okay, push through it. I'm not happy about it because this entire past year, I've known that I'm very unhappy being at this school. And I've tried to explain that to my dad, and I love him to death, and I just don't think he gets it because our minds are very different when it comes to what's important to us or what should be important to us. Um, and I guess to him, it's what should be important, and to me, it's what is. I'm very emotional. I'm very emotionally impulsive, and normally, what I'm feeling leads to what I do. It's not very reason or rationale based. My actions, they're not. Um, but anyway, so this past week, I know this doesn't seem like a huge. What triggered it was being rejected in this event that's actually horrifically superficial. Um, but anyways, the point is that I got rejected from this event. And this event, or this community of people, would have allowed me a somewhat stable situation, a somewhat stable existence, um, assistance while I was at school. And I didn't make the cut, and that was very, very hard on me. I get rejected very often by people. If it's not guys, it's family. And so on top of all that, um, I have these people that don't really know a damn thing about me. and don't really know what I've gone through, and they choose to reject me as well. So I took that very, very hard. And I know people say, oh, it's their loss. Well, in this case, it actually was more my loss because I lost the only chance I had to find a stable situation at my school. And so with that came the thought of, holy shit, I don't have anything stable to try to attach myself to. I have nothing to look forward to in school. Like, I've gotten to the point, you guys, where I have lost my eagerness and my passion for school. Like, I am at my heart, I am an academic, but I've become so unhappy that um, that I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, what's the point of being here? Nothing's holding me here. I don't feel any excitement or um, I don't know, joy in the idea of going to class and learning something. In fact, it's become more of a burden, and it shouldn't be that way. It had not been that way until last year, and more so these past couple of weeks. And that's where I mean, I kept thinking, I'm like, how in the fuck am I gonna go through another year after this one? And possibly after that in the same situation. I am so unhappy. Like, anyways, basically what happened, I broke down and it was horrible meltdown of crying throughout most of the day. Um, and basically what's going to happen is that um, I'm going to transfer schools. Again, a lot of people don't want to hear that, or care, but I'm happy that I took the time to go through this shit. And the reason is, I had to confront how bad I've been feeling. I mean, this feeling has been going on for over a year now, and it finally hit a breaking point yesterday. Actually, yeah, it was yesterday when all this shit happened. So, what's important about this and what I realized about myself is what I can and cannot handle. I cannot handle inconstancy. I cannot handle being, how do I say, devalued. Yeah, that's the right prefix for that. I can't handle moving all the time. I can't handle not having friends, you guys. I need to have friends in my life. I need to have people I can depend on. I need to have people that I can talk to, rely on, confide in. I need those people in my life, and I do have them, but they're not here. They're out there, and I hardly ever get to see them. And because of this separation, because they used to be my roommates, their lives have gone on. And so the connection that we used to have is not the same anymore. We're not on the same level. And that's really hard for me. I don't like it. It makes me really sad because the closest friends that I had, and they still are my closest friends, but things aren't the same as they were just because we have separated. And that's pretty fucking sad. I mean, I still love them, but it's just not the same anymore. And so even with that, understanding that, and then still knowing that basically your closest friends aren't as close as they were before, and then have no friends after that is, hopefully you understand what I mean when I say that I've never been so lonely in my life. And I understand now, like, what I need, that I need to be in a stable situation. I need to be like when I'm talking about wanting to transfer schools, or I'm going to transfer schools, I may have to drive from wherever I will be living to campus, which is fine. I don't really care about that as long as it's not a fucking hour away. But at least that entire area is like kind of centered in one space. You know, even where I'll be living will be within the same town. Um, you know, I don't have to travel across zip codes to get there. Um, and I'd be living there too. I won't have to be have my own living situation zip codes away. It's, I just need that. I need to have a social situation. And even though the school I'm looking at is a lot bigger than, even the school I'm at now, which may make it more impersonal, at least I feel, because it's not a commuter school, the people that I'll be meeting or whatever, that whole constantly moving and mobile lifestyle won't be an issue. Because they'll be kind of stuck in the same place as me. And so that adds a bit more constancy to the situation. And another thing, I've learned that when I'm this upset about something, or when I've been this upset about something for a while, that I do need to make a change. And I was thinking about this myself before I made this decision. I told myself, I'm like, if I don't do something about this now, I will be resentful about this for the rest of my life and realize I've wasted years being unhappy during the years of my life where I should be figuring out who I am and what I want to do. You know, it would all go to shit if I didn't do something now. And somebody in my life, actually, I'll just fucking say it, my mother, very, very resentful about shit that happened to her when she was young. But she never did anything about it, and so that kind of fucked her up. I won't be that person. I'm going to do what I need to do to make myself happy. And I'm happy to say that. I'm happy that I finally, even though it's kind of sad, hit that breaking point and realized and recognized, hey, this is my life. These years do count. I know people are like, oh, you're young, you have the rest of your life. Well, guess what? These years that I've been going through this shit are still part of that life. They still matter. They still count. They still have effects on me. And will influence what happens to me and what I do and what I think and what I feel. So I do need to change. I need to change things for me in my situation. I'll talk about spirituality in another video, I think. I really don't want to add that to this bit because this one is already so long and so loaded. But I'm just going to leave you guys with that. Just a life update. I know it wasn't the best, like, cheery video with ooh smiles and crap. Yeah, I know. I'm not very cheery right now, but this is, I hope other people get what I'm talking about with hitting a breaking point, needing to make a transition, and recognizing new aspects of yourself or facets of yourself and being proud that you have. Yeah. So that's all I've got right now. Hope everybody's doing well, hopefully better than I have been. And many blessings.